It's
Exactly.
going to school generally now. Do you think it is still relevant to today's society? Now that people are learning skills, there's AI, there's a digital, there's content creation. People go to school and they don't even know where to go and practice what they went to school for. Do you think that going to school now is still very important in Nigeria?
School is not a scam, right?
Mm.
Education is not a scam. But I think there's a difference between going by the book and doing, Nigeria is stereotyped. You finish nursery school, you need to go do this one. Meanwhile, if you're looking for jobs abroad, waiting people they find like your certification. Do you understand? In a particular field, nobody is asking you if if you it's just like in the UK now. Person will get first class in a particular subject or in a particular field, they less employable than
Mm.
somebody will get 10 years experience in that field with a third class.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Companies will employ somebody who's got a third class as first degree with 10 years experience than to employ you with a first class with 6 months experience.
Mm.
Because for Nigeria, we they go for certificate. Meanwhile, for abroad, they go for experience.
Mm.
Do you understand? And that is why everything where they happen for Nigeria today in terms of education and real life check is opposite each other. A mechanical engineer or a mechanical engineering lecturer in Unizik cannot change the fuel pump in his car.
Mm.
Not fit do am. Apart from checking out, even brake pad for your HOD cannot change his brake pad in his car. I don't know if you're
Yes.
getting me.
Yes.
But when you go to the urban or rural area where you've got those people with those skills, then go do that thing with ease. A 17-year-old boy and a bad boy where they learn mechanic work for Oka go do better job than that your professor where they for school.
Mm.
Do you understand? He might
Yes.
not be able to give you word for word the actual words and the registers for those particular things in that field, but he knows the job. But for Nigeria, we no one know who know the job, now the certificate. And that is why even as an MC, you go do MC job. You introduce a man. I've been uh, I've been in a program back then in Nigeria where I introduced a lecturer, not yet a lecturer back then in Unizik, as a doctor, not knowing that he became a professor that week.
Mm.
The guy no stand up, but he was angry that I introduced him as a doctor. But Oga, now doctor I take know you now. I don't say you don't be professor 3 days ago. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because now that pride way we get as Nigeria, professor, doctor, Mr. CEO, NON, BCB, blah blah blah, da, gigi,
HIV.
ojiaha, go stand up, oko. Carry that same person now, put for that field to execute that job, you not go see do am. Do you understand? So, and now why
Yes.
most people they go school for Nigeria? You don't see the way it happen where a computer science graduate don't know how to open email address.
Mm.
Do you understand how? So you go bring person now with the computer scientist BSc after 4 years in the university. You leave am with a system. He can't do anything.
Mm.
Do you understand? But when they want to advertise job, they go say second class upper division for. Do you understand? They go
Yes.
now give you within the define. Instead of so now the only reason we be say education in Nigeria they paramount. You just got to do it. But our system of the way we life day for Nigeria and the way we Let's we study agriculture. Guy, how many people from Unizik, for example, that did Unizik has fishery and botany, something.
yes, zoology, fishing, botany.
Carry their best graduating students, go where they get maybe poultry. Just tell them to take you around, explain what they happen here. I swear that person will fit do anything. The only experience, the only thing where the person know, now that one when he learn for in 3 months or 6 months IT. That's all. Again, so I feel that education in Nigeria, we are doing one thing on the right and we are explaining another thing on the left, because you learn, yes, education is good, but in reality check, waiting they use it. You just go school, go spend 5 years, you come out from the school, apart from common sense, nothing again where you carry come out. Because that thing where you study for 5 years, when you go into the real field, then go still begin train you again. There is nobody, I never see anybody where graduate as a banking and finance student, we apply for job, get work, we then no start from scratch, begin explain things for them for the banking industry again. Because the bank will employ you, go carry you for another training to now teach you. So if the bank go actually not train you, why would they spend 4 years for university?
Why not go from your SS3 to the bank straight?
And to the bank and start doing whatever you get. So secondary school education, very important. Primary school education, very important. But university, I just say university is overhyped. You know, university education is just overhyped to an extent, because a lot of time, funny enough, how many people they employ people from that field in like how they think they do it. Every day now they produce graduates, yet job no in Nigeria. Yet people they with your first class. Because even with your first class, they no one give you the job because you don't get somebody. So I think I get a lot to sit up on.
We met in Unizik as a comedian. You were you are a comedian. We met in Unizik. How was entertainment during your time? How was it during your time? How was entertainment business in Unizik? Let's start from there, please. Go ahead.
I think back then when I started comedy in Unizik, there were just 3 comedians then. Basket Mouth Unizik, Castro, the Don. Castro is also in the UK. We still align and do 1 or 2. Basket Mouth Unizik, Castro the Don, or Sophia Unizik, and Uncle Shaggy. But comedy entertainment then was more of there was no competition per se. There was no competition back then. It was easy, but it wasn't easy. It was easy in the sense that if you're able to break through, you just need 1 show. You know, just perform in 1 show. Because then I know that we used to queue. Like, when I won't perform. My first performance in Unizik was supposed to be Losa Night back then. They say for me to perform, make I go pull poster. So I had to pull poster. I helped them pull poster. I helped them do road show. You know, I did road show, did the whole poster, put in pasting poster, the whole of. That was 2007, I be 2007, yeah, 2007. 2007. So put poster, do everything. At the end of the day, I now told my friends, say, I did perform for Lost Night today. Today we perform. So we went for the Lost Night, we were waiting. I think it was Shaggy and one other person. I can't even remember the person. I think Shaggy and Basketman, who they were the MC. That's how they wait. He and Baba, I wait. Make them come, they say they first call me Slaughter. I said, no, if they call me Slaughter, event don't close now. They call me Slaughter. People say, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the show. It is time for dance. Yeah, I feel like the guy say, this is time for dance. You know that dance. Now my eye, I use computer. Dance. Yeah, it was sad experience then, and I was like, wow. But then I think after a year or something, I now performed once in mass communication. Yes, I think it was mass com night. They did that. Yes, mass com night. They did that somewhere. That was my first performance. So after that mass com night, then everybody, oh, you get one guy with perform for mass com night. Oh, the guy is good. Blah blah blah. After that mass com night, then I started winning shows, departmental shows, and blah. It was cool though.
How was the feeling being one of the, if not the only most popular comedian in Unizik then? You were more like the Alibaba of Unizik, you were everywhere.
There was no, I wouldn't say, there was no feeling per se, because then I got into school at a very, very, very tender age. I not do primary six, I not do primary five. So I entered the university at a very, very tender age. But then, talking about feeling, I was still with that small picking brain now. Nothing. But the only pressure then was there was no money, but expectations were high. To do MC for induction was like 3K. You understand?
Yes.
3,000. Then if it's departmental night, some departmental night will pay you 5,000, some will pay you 6K or 7,000. But the thing is, anywhere people see you, they want you to pay their bills. But you don't even have the money, because at there you can't even afford your rent. But based on say you're popular, once they see you, once they chop food, they expect you to pay. But you don't get the money, so you can't even explain, which was still part of the reason why at some point in my life, I had to now say, okay, this comedy is not working the way it should work. I need to start doing something else.
Yes.
Because you are popular, even with your popularity, you can't afford to buy a car. You're popular, with your popularity, you can't afford to pay for a self-con to yourself. You have to share a self-con with somebody. Accommodation is 60,000. So you bring 30, I bring 30. It's 50, you bring, so for 1 year. But the society wasn't looking at it that way. Society, what they count for you is my MC Losa night, my MC mass com night, my MC engineering night, my do social science night. So they're already calculating the number of shows you've done, and the expectations should be high. So anybody will see you, the person won't bill you. And nobody wants to listen to the crap you want to say, guy, no, guy, why you do like this now? If somebody asks you, say, Alpha, if you borrow me 3K, if you borrow me 5K, if you say, I don't have, they don't perceive it like you don't have. They just perceive it like you don't want to give. You don't want to help them. So it was a challenge then. So, yeah.
How was the payment then? Can you remember the first money you were paid as an MC?
The first money I was paid as an MC was 1,500, and that 1,500 did not pay me complete, because they fight for the show, so they give me 500. They give me 500.
Can you remember,
I think the guy is late now.
Can you remember the highest money you were paid as a student MC? And
that one I was paid was 25,000. 25,000. And that was booking during SUG. Because at that point, there was one time where we got so, when I come to open, I want to say no. Because if they want to do event, let's say, Mascom US could call you, say, Parrot Mouth, our event is on, we want to do our Mascom night on Thursday. I go say, no, Thursday, I know the Thursday engineering, they do their night. They say, okay, Friday. I go say, no, Friday, Mascom, they do their night. They're going to say, okay, when you day free? I go, Sunday, I go day free. So they're going to put their event on Sunday. So,
yes, you had those privileges.
Yeah, yes, I had the privilege where people will confirm when I am free before they can now fix a date for their event. And of course, I had, we didn't have much comedy. I had just, what's his name? MC Curiano that was with me then. Then later, Plantain. Abi? MC Plantain. And, yes, just me, MC Plantain. And then Basket Mouth Music have left. And all of that. So, and then my breakthrough came when they did, what's the name? Glow Rock and Roll. Yes, I think it was Glow Rock and Roll. It was after Glow Rock and Roll that I now went for Basket Mouth, Crack Your Ribs, and then Glow Thor too. Laugh and Jams Glow Thor. Yeah.
At what point
So
did
it just developed.
Corino join? Did you remember Corino? You mentioned plantain. I think when I came, I met you, Corino. The two of you are the two kings. Then I remember the Gabriel, Gentle, Malam Dagogo, plantain.
Yes, Malam Dagungo.
At what point did they join, and how were you guys able to play the game then? Who were the people that were ruling the game then?
Would I say, I had a disadvantage with it. I'm from the minority, if it's in politics, they say I'm from the minority area in UNIZEC, which is building. Building is just a small department. I think in my department there we were like, I'm not sure we're up to 20.
The whole department?
Rihanna was in, yes, no,
your class?
My class. I'm not sure we're up to 20 then in my class. But then, if you, I think Dagogo was in social science. I can't really remember. Dagogo was in social science. Kuriano was in, I think, in one of those big faculties. And normally now, if you are in any big faculty, you have advantage because people want to carry somebody, use somebody from that. I think that was it. But there was no one-on-one encounter with anybody to be like, there was no power tussle. Nobody was dragging anything because then there was no media strength. I understand that media now they scatter things. So we didn't have people saying, oh, but I know that I was best comedian UNIZEC 5 consecutive times. I was best comedian 5 consecutive times. But because we didn't have the media strength, so nobody was writing anything to say, oh, this comedian did this. No. Unlike now, if you say any small thing we do media, so.
A na-afọ ịchọrọ igo ịjụkwala ese. A na-afọ ịchọrọ igo imekwala investigation. Bịa na Pine Leaf Estate and Properties. Anyị adịela ana na-ese okwu. Anyị adịela ana na-eje court.